some really exciting news. If you've seen my last vlog, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's been about 2-ish months since I've been engaged. So over the moon, and I thought it'd be a great sit down story time for you guys on how we got engaged, but more so like I kind of also want to bring it back to the very beginning. I'm gonna do my hair while I do that, but I have a fun little drink here. The color may look concerning, but this drink is so good. It's the Bloom Sparkling Energy Drinks. I believe these are at Costco. They are my hyperfixation right now. Anytime I need to pick me up, especially in the afternoon time, I always reach for these. I'm gonna give myself a little faux blowout, so I need to put some heat protectant. I love this one because it smells literally like cotton candy. Okay, so first things first, how we met. It's actually a really funny story and I love telling it. Let me just paint the picture. So I was home for the holidays and I was sitting with my sister and we were both working. This was around COVID-ish time, a little bit after that. So things were like kind of getting back to normal, but not really. Anyway, she just randomly brought up this guy that she knew from high school and she was like, I have no idea who this guy is, but I follow him on social media. I know him from high school and he lives in LA and I think you guys would get along so well. And I kind of pushed back on it and I was like, well, what about him makes you think that we would get along? Like if you don't know him, like that's so random. And she was like, I don't know, just like his vibe on social media, he kind of has a similar vibe to you. It looks like he goes to all the same coffee shops, all of the same restaurants you do. So I think he's literally a guy version of you. Like he looks like he likes all the same stuff as you. So I had her show me his Instagram because obviously I needed to check it out and see what this guy was about and if I even thought he was cute or was interested. And he definitely caught my eye. He went to a lot of coffee shops that I had been to before. He just seemed cool and fun and I was totally for it. I told her, sure, I'm interested, but if you don't know him, like, how is this even gonna happen? Like, how are you gonna set us up? And she's like, I know it's kind of weird and like, maybe he'll think it's weird, but I kind of just want to slide in his DMs and message him for you and just send him your Instagram and say, hey, this is my sister. Would you be interested in her? Which at first I was like, no, that's like so weird. And then I thought about it more and I was like, why not? The worst thing he can do is ignore her message and I don't know the guy. So if he rejects me, like it's fine. Like I'll move on. But best case scenario, I meet someone new and I go on a date with a really cute guy. So I had her message him and the message was really funny. He didn't respond for a whole hour. And he ended up responding, OMG, Sister of the Year award, and then liked it. And then he ended up following me on Instagram, but nothing after that. But I ended up just messaging him and asking him out to coffee. And he responded right away and he was like, yeah, let's get coffee. So that was all set up. Conveniently, he ended up living 5 minutes away from me where I lived in LA at the time. And if you live in LA, if you know LA, it's huge. Like, what are the odds that he lives so close to me? Like, you could easily meet someone and they're so far from you that it feels like a long distance relationship. Ended up picking me up for coffee and we went to this coffee shop in Santa Monica called Bluey's. And it was such a cute little first date. We were getting to know each other and I really, really liked him. I remember making a TikTok saying how nervous I was about the date and I gave like a little outfit check that when we ended up getting engaged, I like stitched that video. Really nervous. We're getting coffee, so I wanted to wear something cute but casual. I'm nervous, but it's fine. It's fine. So that's how we met, and the rest was history, and we just started dating for a really long time. So fast forward a couple of years, I want to say this was like right before our 3rd year anniversary. We were going ring shopping because we obviously were very serious about each other and talked about marriage and knew that that was the next step for us. We went to a couple of jewelers in downtown LA to look at rings just to see what I liked and what I didn't like, because I kind of had an idea of what I wanted my engagement ring to be, but I had never tried on rings before, so I wasn't 100% confident. I ended up trying the most gorgeous rings. Honestly, the very first ring that I tried on surprised me so much because it wasn't a style that I thought I was going to like. I mean, when I was younger, I was obsessed with emerald cut rings, so I really thought that that was the diamond that I was going to go with. But once I was there and trying on emerald cuts, it just didn't feel like me. It didn't sparkle as much as I thought it was gonna. There was just something about emerald cuts that I just didn't end up loving. I didn't love the shape on my finger. I didn't love that it didn't sparkle as much, and that's just like the way that it's cut. It's not gonna sparkle as much as a princess cut or a round cut. But I think at the end of the day, I just didn't like how it looked on me, which is crazy because I always pictured myself wearing an emerald cut. So that's my biggest advice if you're getting ready to get engaged. You should go try things on in person, not to like ruin the element of surprise. I mean, if you truly don't care and you want your partner to pick it out based on what he thinks you'll love and you're okay with that, I also think that's so sweet. So it's really just your preference, but I definitely do recommend going to try some in person just to get a feel for what you like, because you might have an idea and then when you go see it in person, your idea might change. So I was really surprised when I did try on the princess cut. I just fell in love with the princess cut. It was so beautiful. I have smaller hands, so I think I just liked the way the shape was on my finger, but I also just loved how much it sparkled in the light. The first jeweler we ever went to and the first ring I ever tried, it was a princess cut with some side trapezoid stones. Every other ring that I tried on just did not compare to it. I loved the 3-stone look. I loved the princess cut and I loved the side trapezoids. So even though we did keep looking and trying on rings, that's the ring style that I ultimately ended up with. So I would say my fiance did a really great job. Before I share the actual proposal, I wanted to share some of the proposal rules that I had for my fiance. It kind of just came up in conversation when he was asking me, how would you like to get proposed to? What is your dream proposal? I did not want anyone there. I wasn't the type of person to want all my friends and family there and have a party afterwards, although that looks really fun. I just like didn't want that. I wanted a very private moment between me and my fiance. That being said, I did really want a photographer there. I thought it was very important for someone to be there to capture the moment for us, because that moment is so fleeting, and I hear so many stories about people kind of like blacking out and not really remembering and wishing that they had photos to remember the moment. And so that's kind of where like my thought process was. I just want a really beautiful photo of this moment. I definitely wanted him to ask for my parents' blessing, which he did like a month in advance. So him and his parents knew that I was getting engaged a month before I did. He also told my little sister, which wasn't like a rule of mine or something that I wanted him to do. He just did it because we're really close and wanted her to know. It's also nice having someone that I'm really close to talk to about the proposal, if he had any questions, asking her for opinions. So she was there for that, which I really appreciated because I had no idea she knew at all and I didn't think he would tell her. And she played it so cool. Like I truly didn't think I was getting engaged at times because she was so like nonchalant and made me feel crazy of like, oh, maybe it's not happening because of how cool she played it. Okay, so this is the hair. I can never make it look like absolutely perfect in uniform, but it ends up always looking really good. Oh, I remember. Okay, so the actual proposal, I really didn't want any like cheesy marry me signs anywhere. And this was something that he went to my little sister and asked her about, of like, should I include this? Should I not include this? And she was a real one and was like, no, I don't think she'll like that very much. Just keep it very simple and she'll love it. That's exactly what he did, and I'm so glad he did. My last rule for my proposal, which is actually one that he broke, it was to not do it at a destination, like if we were on vacation, not to propose to me, because one, I was scared of something happening to the ring, and two, I feel like if you're at a certain point in your relationship and you go on a really big trip, like you kind of expect to be proposed to. So I'm someone who really, 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 really loves surprises. And so I just feel like I would have saw it coming, and I kind of did. So I was kind of going back and forth of, is he gonna propose on this trip? No, I don't think so. I feel like he would think I would see it coming, and I kind of see it coming, but no, I don't think he's gonna do it. So I kept going back and forth with myself. He's not gonna propose, like our 4-year anniversary is coming up, so I kind of thought he would do it then. But leading up to the trip, he was getting kind of weird, and I feel like that just like made me think he was gonna propose. He asked me if I was gonna get my nails done. That is like a telltale sign. That happened to my friend when she got engaged. I tried to be really sleek about it and take her to go get her nails done, and she was like, yeah, I kind of figured that was the reason, because he asked me to get my nails done. So when he started making dinner reservations at like nice restaurants, and he was like, you should bring a nice outfit, that's kind of when I was like, I might be getting engaged on this day. And then the day that it actually happened, the entire trip I was waking up before him because I take longer to get ready. And this particular day, he had gotten up before me to get ready. His story for the day was that we were gonna get up really early so we could get in line for this famous hot chocolate at a hotel. And he said we needed to be first in line because they sell out. And I didn't really think anything of that, because he kept mentioning like a really beautiful library museum that we would go to afterwards, and he was saying how I could take pictures for you for your Instagram. And so I thought like maybe that was the moment that he was gonna propose, because I was dressed all nicely, and he kept saying, oh, after the library we can come back and change into something more comfortable so that way you're not in your boots all day. So I had gotten ready. I kind of had a feeling that I was gonna get engaged, so I made a little TikTok saying, I think I'm getting engaged today, and I did. I just didn't think it was gonna be that early. So what actually happened was he directed us to this alley that was super quiet. There was absolutely no people because, again, it was so early. It was like probably 7 o'clock, 7:15 when he proposed to me. And I was completely oblivious because I was wearing booties and they had a heel on them, and we were walking on cobblestone. So I was looking at the ground, making sure I didn't trip. And once we finally got to the alleyway, I wasn't looking up, I was looking down. So Devin said, oh my God, someone's getting engaged right now. And I look up, not registering that it could be me. I genuinely thought someone else was getting engaged and we were like walking into someone's engagement. And I see rose petals and a big bouquet of red roses on the ground with some candles. And I just look at him and I'm just so confused. And then I finally put 2 and 2 together of like, wait, is this for me? And he's like, yes, this is for you. And he takes my hand and he leads me up and gets down on one knee. And I'm just like so incredibly shocked. And it was so sweet. And out of the corner of my eye, I didn't even realize it until after that he got a photographer, which I was like, thank God. Did I even mention where we were? So we were in Vienna, Austria. We were there like right before Christmas for all the Christmas markets. So it was nice and chilly outside. We had our coats and our scarves. We were all bundled up. There was no one outside on the streets because of how early it was. It really was the perfect moment at the perfect time. So after I got proposed to, the photographer was there with us for an hour and a half after the proposal. So we took some shots in the alleyway where I got engaged. And then the rest of the time we went around all the different spots of Vienna, all of the photographers' favorite spots, and took the most beautiful photos. It was the highlight of the engagement because it was so much fun just running around taking photos. Originally, Devin wanted to do it later in the day at like 4 p.m. right before dinner so that way we could celebrate afterwards, but the photographer, who is a local, she recommended that that was probably not going to be the best idea because it's going to be so crowded and so hard to take photos. So I'm glad he listened to her and was like, well, what's the earliest you can do? And then we'll do that. So he just had to come up with a story to get me all ready and dolled up that early in the morning. But it was so sweet. I loved it. It was like the highlight of the trip. We were on like a 3-city trip in Europe. We first started in Edinburgh, then we went to Vienna where I got engaged, and then we ended our trip in Prague. All of these cities had Christmas markets, and it was like the best trip in the whole world. Now you're probably wondering, just like the rest of my family and friends, what we're gonna be doing for the wedding. And honestly, I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea what we're gonna do. I keep going back and forth of having a big wedding, a small wedding, very intimate, something in between. Like, I just really don't know. My gut is telling me to have a smaller wedding and just ball out on my honeymoon. I think that is very me. Devin and I have been traveling a lot, and that is what we really look forward to, is splurging on our travels. Whenever we travel, we splurge a little bit so that way we're comfortable and it's really memorable. I just like traveling in style, and I feel like it would be really fun to do something like so bougie, like I'm talking White Lotus bougie. I don't know, that's just me, but I am Mexican, so there is like this intense pressure to have a bigger wedding. Whether people want to say that or not, I do feel that pressure. So as of right now, we have 0 plans. I'm just starting to look at wedding venues, and maybe that'll help me figure out how many people I want to be there, because all these venues have different prices depending on how many people you're inviting. And maybe the shock of the number will really convince me that having a small wedding is the way to go. Or if we can find something that's reasonable, we'll have a bigger wedding. It really could go either way. Please keep me in your prayers because I think this is going to be a really stressful year for me. I'm also very type B, so I think that planning this is kind of like my nightmare. Not my nightmare, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to get married and have a beautiful wedding, whatever that looks like. And I am really excited to plan it once I figure out exactly what I want. You know, I think the stressful part is just like not really knowing what that is. I'm gonna add this nourishing hair mask, which I've never tried anything like this before, and it actually works. I'm still deciding how much I want to share about the wedding on social media, but I think I am going to end up just sharing a lot with you guys just because this is a big moment for me. And if you've been following my TikTok since the very beginning, I posted a lot of dating content here in LA in my early to mid 20s, and here I am, my late 20s, about to get married. So a lot of you have been here since the very beginning, and I think that's so beautiful, and I want to share all of the beautiful moments to come. So stay tuned. I'll only share things when things are set in stone. I'll share when I go dress shopping and all of that good stuff. I hope you like this story time. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to answer anything that I missed. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.